All right, so today I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit about why it's important to have a compass, to use your compass if you need to, and talk a little bit about waypoints. A lot of water on this trail here today. Should have picked a drier one maybe. But it's important. There's phone apps that everybody uses that can be used by GPS, so that even if you don't have a good signal, they work. And then you have your maps that you can use. But there's some really simple ways that can be crucial, super wet, to know how to use in case of emergencies. So I'm going to kind of go over some of that today. I'm going to keep it very simple, very basic, but yet very important. All right, so here's what I use. I have a pretty simple compass. It's a Sunto or Sunto. They're Finnish, but they're not finicky. All right, so seriously though, they're good compasses. We'll talk about why I carry this. I carried this through the whole Big Cypress hike that we just did recently. I never had to use it, but it was there in case I needed to. And it's pretty important to know how to use these. Like I said, we're going to keep it really simple. You do not need to go super in depth. You do not need to be confused or worried about becoming a master on a compass to be able to use a compass. All right, to use it effectively, I mean, we'll have Sawyer show you too. Your second or third grader can do it, no problems, and it'll accomplish the main things with a compass you want to know is, which way am I going, right? So we're going to cover all that. Going to cover how easy it is to get lost in the woods. It's real easy, super easy. And then we're going to cover, hopefully, once I'm lost, you know, kind of like, I'm lost, now what, right? How not to freak out, how to survive and live to see another day. So, all right, let's go get lost. Okay, so let's just do this. We're on a pretty big open trail right here. Let's just meander out into the woods, and we'll go this way for a little bit and just show you how easy it is to get off trail. So make up something. I gotta use the bathroom really bad. I don't want to get embarrassed. I don't want anybody to walk up on me. I want to get off trail, or just to be sanitary, I want to get way off trail. Or maybe I want to go camping for the night, whatever. Something happens to get you off trail. It's always good to look back at where you're coming from so that you know what it looks like, right? That's tip number one. Know where you came from, right? We're going to talk about how you can know where you came from, but for now, we know that there's kind of like a bigger road trail behind us. So now, I'm just going to feed back in here. Okay, so now, cool open spot. Put our tent up, or maybe we use the bathroom. Yeah, let me spin around a couple times. Woo! Whatever. Now, we got to get back. And it's dense. So how do we get back? You can't see a road anywhere in here. You can't see the road. And when you get in some of these hammocks, you can't tell what's what. Let's talk about the importance of using our compass and using waypoint markers and knowing, you know, directions, knowing approximates. So first thing, I got my phone, right? So if I can pull my phone up, I'm gonna go to my maps. Yep, I see exactly where I'm at. But you know what else I see is, I don't know if we can see this on here, but I see that the trail that I came from is at the top of my phone. I do see that which way my arrow's pointing is. There's another trail there, and there's another trail here. So there's actually two other trails if I got turned around that I'd be on that would not be the correct trail. Let's take a look at what we can do to make sure we're not lost. Number one, use your phone. That's gonna be the easiest. Use your phone, good to go. That's pretty easy. Number two, use the compass or use waypoints. So let's take a look at what that looks like. All right, so I'm not lost. I'm back out on the main road here. So, all right, so let's talk about, we went in there, got lost real quick. Showed you just how far, which is not far at all. You have to go into the woods to not be able to see the way out. Easy to get lost, easy to, especially if you're not good. Some people just ain't good at, sorry, I got something in my shoe. Some people just ain't good at directions. So, you know, knowing where you're at. So now, what if I wanted to go in there? What's another way I could do it? Say I want to go in for the night, or I just want to go explore, or whatever. Using our compass, we can go in there, and if I'm going to come in right here, I'll find my bearing. So if this is the way I want to go, so if you look here, I'm going to get red in the shed, my direction of go, or dog as some people call it, dog, direction of go. My arrow, I want to go that way. So I move this around till I get red in the shed. So now red's in the shed, my arrow's that way. So it looks like we're going 200 degrees. And then conversely, if you look down here at this side, you got 20 down here, right? So 200 degrees is what we're going in there. So that's all you need to know. Now we go in at 200 degrees, and pace beads and all that, which I can talk about, would be come in handy to tell you how far you're going in as well. But so we're going to go in that direction to travel. And then if you don't want to change this at all, or you can't do the math, you want to keep it super simple, if you go that way in, then black will be in the shed. So that's the exact opposite. When black's in the shed, you go straight out. That's one way. Now listen, I know some people just can't get compasses. I understand that. It can be weird. The numbers all can be weird. So let's go to an even easier method. So here's, we're gonna go to another thing. Another thing I always carry with me. I carry this in Big Cypress. I almost had to use it, but I didn't. And this is called a marker. Let me get it out. It's kind of a big one. A lot of people probably don't carry big ones like this, but I can cut it into pieces. I can use this. Everything that I try to carry is multi-use. So this is a marker, this is a bandana, this is a towel, this is a face wipe, this is, you know, a filter, pre-filter for your water. But what I mainly have it for, though, the main reason is as a marker. So now, if I'm coming back in here, what I want to do is, I want to make this simple. Now, this is not concealed, like I don't want nobody to know where I'm at, right? We're using freaking bright orange. But if this is a place where I want to go in and move back some and be able to get back out, and I'm checking for water or whatever else, I'm not going to tie it this time, but we'll just put it right here. I can go as far away from that marker, which I would tie it and wind can blow that out, as I can see that marker. I can go as far as that marker. So let's keep trucking. And look, I can still see my marker, no problem. Coming through, can see my marker. I can still see my marker. Now, I'm gonna start pushing through these palmettos to another direction this way. I wanna just keep going. At this point, I would tie another marker. I'd probably put it on maybe this bush or maybe right here, right? I'd tie it here, and I would keep working back. And then if I wanted to go any other direction, I would stop at that one, then I'd make another marker. That big marker I have can be cut into several strips. You never want to go further than you can see your marker. You can, but you know, for safety, especially if you don't know how to use a compass well, which I still recommend you learn the basics of, but that will help you stay on target and be able to get back. Basically, you're leaving breadcrumbs for your trail. That's about as simple as it gets, about as easy as it gets, and really about as effective as it gets. So basic compass, which we went through with Sawyer.
If you're trapped in the woods, you're definitely going to want this. Definitely.
using a compass. So if you want to get off trail, you can use your compass, just get a bearing, go that way in. Then you just take the reverse one out, right? So scenarios, you're going to camp for the night. You're like, look, I'm not camping off this trail. There's weirdos, whatever. I want to get in there and I want to go 400 yards back, whatever. Get in there and you go 400 yards back or however far back you think you need to go. Staying on your bearing, right? The bearing that you took. The next step, make sure you write your bearing down somewhere or use a number you can remember, right? When you come back the opposite number. The other way around would be cut it in strips, mark your tree, move back, mark your tree. And it don't matter if you go left or right off of that. Just mark, never go farther than you can see your marking. And that's your breadcrumbs. Just like that was breadcrumbs that they use like on GPS today. This is the precursor to that. These are the OG breadcrumbs.